Hello everyone, it's I'm McLeod and today I am playing Trains, another deck that got support in the newest mini-box and which currently amounts to nothing in the current metagame. Trains got a couple of new toys to play with, the first of which is Urgent Schedule, an absolutely fantastic quick play spell that allows you to build a ball from practically nothing, which is great going first, going second. It's just an excellent card that you should play 3 of, but I only have 2, so I'm only playing 2 of. I think the deck is playable with 2, but definitely much better with 3, because the alternative is playing Special Schedule, which not the greatest card out there. The second is a dedicated skill in the form of Right Away Rampage, which allows you to reveal an urgent schedule or a special schedule in your hand to either foolish a level 10 Earth Machine monster from deck to graveyard, or add a revolving switch out or barrage blast and return a card from deck to hand if your opponent doesn't control any card, which is kind of a okay effect. It's fine, but it really doesn't compete with the stuff that we have for like Heroes and Crystal Beasts and Predator Plants and Salamangreat. I kept forgetting the name Salamangreat for some reason. And like, you need to have a super busted skill if you want to even make a dent in the metagame, and even then, that might not be enough. It also has the additional effect of giving you a bunch of life points if you summoned a rank 10 monster, which is cool, and then you get to play around Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, which is okay. I mean, all your opponent has to do is hold until battle phase, but sure, I guess that's part of the effect too. And last but not least, the deck also received Construction Train Signal Red at limited 2, which is a hand trap that basically sets up 2 battles and can be searched by nothing in the deck, because Ruffian Railcar only searches level 10s, this only recycles Earth Machines monsters, so you need to have already opened it. And yeah, this is a level 3 Earth Machine that is just there to protect your life points in a level 10 focus deck, which for some reason merited it being limited too. This deck isn't great, the skill is just too weak to really have a huge impact on the meta game, and this deck has like really bad matchup against 2 of the top 3 decks, being Salamangreat that can just keep nuking your board over and over and you don't really have any defensive options, and also don't care about you attacking them directly for huge damage because they have many ways to deal with that. And they can't beat Lyrilisk Assemble Nightingale. You simply don't have any archetypal outs to Lyrilisk Assemble Nightingale, which that means that this deck is doomed to not be playable, unfortunately. Despite this, it's still a pretty fun strategy that maybe if you already have all of these cards, you could give a try. I would not recommend going into the newest mini-box just for Urgent Schedule at the moment. It just isn't worth it. Now, to take a look at the deck card by card, we are playing 3 copies of Everfreight Train Derek Crane, one of the rank 10 material monsters of all time, just an absolutely fantastic card, specials itself for free. I don't see any reason why you would not want to play 3 of this guy. A copy of Pekin's Citadel, which you can pitch for your skill for basic and free, and if you open it, you can just find other ways to send it to your graveyard, maybe with your field spell, maybe with the Anger Knuckle. You want this thing in your graveyard as soon as possible because this is pretty much the only interaction that you have against your opponents when you're going first. 3 copies of Super Express Bullet Train, another great rank 10 material monster, has the fantastic effect of like recycling resources, which is absolutely great. You want to summon this guy and send it to the graveyard as soon as possible. 3 copies of Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede. Fantastic card, is a great starter with this skill in order to go into rank 10 plays or double anger knuckle. Just a great card overall. Unfortunately, very susceptible to Effect Veiler. The 2 Construction Train Signal Red, as mediocre as this card is, we do kind of need it to avoid dying, which is a situation that's going to happen a lot otherwise. And 2 Ruffian Rail Cars. Also a pretty decent monster, especially going first. If you manage to send it, you get to search for a level 10 Earth Machine monster, which might be a heavy train Derek Crane, because if you can summon this during your opponent's turn with a little bit of luck. When the McKinnon Citadel is summoned, then again the option to summon the heavy freight train Derek Crane. It's a pretty neat card, but not the greatest because it doesn't any start your plays or anything. It's decent. 2 copies of Urgent Schedule. Like I said, you probably need 3 for this deck to function optimally, but 2 is fine. 3 copies of Revolving Switchyard. I've seen decks that play only 1 and use the scale to search it, but the issue is that the scale punishes you for going first, basically. So if you're searching this, that's not good. I don't know. The scale is just bad. The skill is just bad, and you don't want to use your skill in order to get this card that is otherwise crucial to your plays. I'm playing 3 so that I can use my skill to pitch a Citadel, pretty much going first every time. And 1 copy of Special Schedule. Worst case scenario, to revive the Citadel that you just sent. If you open like Ruffian Railcar and nothing else, Special Schedule, you send Citadel, revive Citadel, make double Anger Knuckle. Sure. For the extra, we are on 2 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, which is a decent one option as always. You know, you get to detach something to inflict some burn damage, and then if you detach a Bullet Train, you get to add something during the end phase. And of course, you can detach a Derrick Rain going second to pop some cards on the field. It's a decent enough card. 2 Sky Palace Gangaradai, which is the better option for bold clears going second. It's a rank 10, but unlike every other monster in this deck and extra deck, it is a wind monster, which means that this monster particularly is susceptible to getting super polyed. When you're playing against hero, chances are they're not going to have elemental hero Gaia in their extra deck, which is the super poly target for Earth monsters, because the extra deck is too tight, so they cut it in order to play like Brave Neos, which works with Neos Cross Keeper and Neos Fusion, right? So they don't have Gaia, but they do have Great Tornado, which they can summon using this and super poly. So watch out if you're playing against hero. Maybe don't make this guy, just keep making the regular Earth Machine guys. Of course, both of these rank 10s can be upgraded into Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Liber, which is the game ender that this deck has access to. Most of the time, if you summon this thing and you boost it to 6000, you're probably winning the game, except not really, because Librelisk exists, and Salamangreat and Hero can both have easy access to a Lord Life Barrier and other ways to avoid taking big damage, so it's not actually that great. We're also playing the Link to Double-Headed Anger Knuckle, a fantastic card as part of your turn 1 setup. This one can just bring back something from the grave, which works in conjunction with like your Derrick Rain from hand, or your... I can bring Pegasus, but it's a really flexible card that is part of your turn 1 end board, but it's not all that impressive, I'll give you that. And last but not least, as kind of niche options, we have Gigant X, which we can make with Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede, reviving a level 10 and new tickets effect to turn the level 10 into a level 4, which then searches the Construction Train Signal Rate, and the Heavy Armored Train Iron Wolf, which basically works the same way, except this guy searches something when it's destroyed, which can mostly be used to search another Flying Pegasus for follow-up turns. So like I said, this deck is kind of mid, but it is pretty fun to play, and it can get a couple of like really satisfying wins every now and then. So let's check out the one replay where that happened. This here replay is going to be against Salamangreat, one of the, if not the best deck of the current format, which is a problem in and of itself. I disagree with Loom's assumption that this deck fixes the meta. It is still a problematic deck for reasons different than other problematic decks, but still. So, as you can see, we've opened a hand that allows us to activate the skill, which is kind of neat. So we're going to activate Revolving Switchyard, and then activate the skill, revealing an Urgent Schedule to send a Citadel. We're going to Pegasus trying to revive the Citadel, but oh, I thought my opponent would have Valor, except that they do not. Then we are going to use the Revolving Switchyard effect in order to summon a Ruffian Railcar from deck and make it level 10, which is a great part of this card. This card is just a fantastic card in my opinion. You definitely need to access it as soon as possible. We are going to put the Citadel and the Pegasus into a double-headed Anger Knuckle, then special summon the Bullet Train from our deck and put these two tents together into a Gustav Max. I think I kind of made a mistake here in sequencing. It's not too bad because I'm going to get to be able to use the Ruffian Railcar and the Bullet Train's effects both during this turn, but usually you want to send both to graveyard, so having access to sending them for the summon of Double End Knuckle makes the game much easier, but that's not too bad, because I need so many stuff in my graveyard anyway. So, then I'm going to rank up after burning my opponent for 40,000 into a Juggernaut Liber, and then I'm going to use its effect to turn it into a 6,000. I know there's nothing in Salamangreat's arsenal that can beat over a 6,000 by battle. They have many ways to clear my board there. That's kind of annoying, but that's why we have the urgent schedule, and that's why we're using the Bullet Train to get back the Pegasus and the Ruffian Relica to get a Derek Train. That's a pretty decent hand. What this means is basically if my opponents nuke my board like with Pyro Phoenix or with a Dark Hole, I get to summon the Citadel from my graveyard into a Derek Train, into another monster from deck, a second Ruffian Relica, for instance, with the Revolving Switch out. So even a board wipe doesn't actually wipe my board. Unfortunately, my opponent is playing a super consistent, super broken deck in the form of Salamangreat, where they can just click heal button to get the perfect starter in the form of Salamangreat of Fire, and the perfect annoyance in the form of Salamangreat Foul that they just summon from deck for free, which if you don't think that's problematic, I don't know what to tell you. They're going to send it in order to prevent me from activating the urgent schedule this turn, which is really annoying. Then Salamangreat of Fire searching the Gazelle, linking it up for the Balinks, then activating the Gazelle from hand. I think they've already sent a Spinny, so they're going to send a Jaguar this time. The Spinny is going to revive itself. They're going to put 3 and 3 together into a Mirage Stallion. I'm holding off the effect of the double-ended Unged Knuckle, but paying close attention because I want to blank the effect of the Mirage Stallion that when it is used as link material allows you to target and bounce a monster in order to prevent my opponents from resolving it, because I'm going to send whatever they're targeting with double-ended Unged Knuckle and not lose a monster for free. They're going to summon and put the Fennec and the Balinks into a Sunlight Wolf, which will allow them to search a normal Salamangreat spell card. They're going to go for Reoccurrence, which is pretty powerful, I mean, considered. They're going to retrieve the Foul that they haven't summoned through its effect yet, and the Gazelle, which they have summoned through its effect. Then they're going to put all of these monsters together into a Heat Leo. Heat Leo is going to be able to shuffle my back row back into the deck that I can activate, and they're going to target the double-ended Unged Knuckle of the Mirror Stallion, which will be tributed, or rather sent to the graveyard in order to revive express a Bullet Train instead. Revolving Switch Yard will allow me to summon a Ruffian Relica, so that's not ideal, but that's still like a decent board of monsters that my opponent has to wipe clean in order for me to then special a McKinnis Citadel. They did get to summon the Foul for free, because Foul works that way, and they could just get a card for free. That deck is insane. That deck is insanely powerful, and I genuinely think it is the best deck of the current format, even though it doesn't have an engine way to deal with Lyria's Assembled Nightingale. They're going to go for the Pyro Phoenix A first time, and then go for the Reincarnation summon of the Pyro Phoenix in order to wipe my board clean. We can watch the animation. What is going to happen here is they're going to destroy every single card on my board, which will allow me to summon the McKinnis Citadel and the Everfrayed Derek Train, but which will leave me with nothing else. And also, I don't know if you knew that, but if they have a Transcendence or a way to like recycle the Pyro Phoenix or a third Pyro Phoenix in the extra deck, they can just do it again, because the field wipe effect is not a once per turn. Did you know that? Is that super funny? Anyway, I'm going to get to summon McKinnis Citadel in attack position. They can't really do anything to beat over it. They're going to revive the Jaguar, set 3 and pass, at which point it's going to be my turn. So Ruffian Relica is going to get me a Bullet Train, and Bullet Train is going to get me a Ruffian Relica. Isn't that super funny? In end phase, I'm going to try to McKinnis Citadel, but they're going to protect with Balinks. I got the Balinks out of the way, so now it looks like a winnable game to me. I'm going to draw another Revolving Switch out because I'm just that good. Flying Pegasus is going to try and summon the Bullet Train, but this time they have the DD Crow, but this time I have the Derek Train, so I'm still going to be able to summon the Derek Train and use use the second Bullet Train from hand to special summon it, put it together into its own Sky Paladins Gangaradai. I'm going to detach the Evertrain to destroy the Burning Shell, and then use the Derek Train detach effect to try and pop this card, which turned out to be Salamangreat Circle, which isn't actually good for me. And they're going to get a Foxy, not that it really matters. I know that the last card in hand is a Gazelle. This is kind of problematic. I'm going to be able to rank it up into a Juggernaut Liber. and activate the Liber effect in order to try and boost it, but unfortunately the last card that my opponent has set was, in fact, a Forbidden Droplet. Then I'm going to send the Foxy and the Jaguar in order to negate and reduce the attack of both of my monsters. Did you know the first French printing of this card, Forbidden Droplet, said have and negate their attacks? I thought that was funny to mention. Anyway, because they sent a Salamangreat monster from here, they're going to be able to special summon the Gazelle from hand, send the Volker, and set back the Recurrence. I'm going to get my life points, which I didn't do last turn because I'm an idiot. I'm going to be able to send the Ruffian Relka in order to revive the double-ending Knuckle, which unfortunately triggers the Pyro Phoenix. Then I'm going to go and try to crash the Juggernaut Liber into the Pyro Phoenix, but my opponent is going to use the Salamangreat of Fire in their graveyard to prevent the battle from happening. I wanted to do that in order to summon the McKenna Citadel, which would have been really useful to me, as it would have made it super easily to deal a lot of damage to my opponent, but unfortunately that just wasn't meant to happen. I'm going to go double Identical Knuckle, take care of the Gazelle, Stampede attacking directly, and the Bullet Train getting me back a Derek Train, and the Ruffian Relka getting me back a Bullet Train. That's such an incredible... I love the resource loop of this deck. It is just not enough to compete with. Like, all the click yellow button gets so much free advantage of the current metagame, which is a shame. It's just... this metagame is... this format is bad because decks that play Fey Yu-Gi-Oh! Just can't compete with decks that click yellow button get a bunch of advantage, but that's a topic for another video. They're gonna get the Reoccurrence activated to get back the Foul and the Gazelle once again. Normal the Gazelle. Gazelle is going to send something, but first the Foul is going to summon itself as well. So Foul, sending a Spinny, linking the Foul into a Bale Links, Spinny reviving itself, and then putting 3 and 3 together into, I think, the second copy of Mirror Stalia. I'm not sure if they had recycled it. Maybe they're playing 2 Mirror Stalias, which is, like, completely fine. Either way, you can revive it, return it to your extra deck with a Jaguar, rather. They're gonna get another Spinny, and then put these two together into a Sunlight Wolf. A Sunlight Wolf. Very interesting. Jaguar is going to return the Pyro Phoenix to the graveyard to special itself, and with the Sunlight Wolf, return a Gazelle to hand. Then Folko is going to return the Jaguar to hand, to special itself. Foxy is going to pitch the Gazelle, which I think might have been a mistake, in order to destroy my revolving switcher, which is kind of annoying. And then my opponent is going to go into a Link 5 Underworld Goddess of the Cold World. Isn't that super cool? That actually Salamangreat does have an out to Lyrilisk Assemble Nightingale, but it's a pay-to-win card because it's selection box locked. Wow, I love this format so much. I love this game so much. Thank you, Konami, for making these great decisions that people really do enjoy. Because they use the effect of Salamangreat of Fire this turn, or no, was it the effect? No, they used the effect of Mirror Stalia, sorry. They will not be able to activate the effect of non-fire monsters, which means that they cannot negate a special summon from the graveyard, which, for all intents and purposes, kind of matters when I'm playing McKenna Citadel. So, before they go into battle phase, I'm going to revive the Bullet Train by sending the double-ended Knuckle, at which point they're going to attack the Flying Pegasus and destroy it, which will revive the McKenna Citadel. I am going to use the Bullet Train in order to return the Liber to my extra deck, because I'm only playing 2 Libers. I'm not going to use the McKenna Citadel effect here, because what's the point? It's not like we would have cleared the Underworld Goddess anyway. I'm going to activate the Bullet Train effect to special it, and activate the Derek Train effect to also special it from my hand. Put 2 and 2 together once again into another Sky Palace Gangaradai, but unfortunately the card that my opponent drew for their last turn before they got to do all of their combos was a Sunday Crosswipe, which is really annoying. Not being willing to lose my Gangaradai for nothing, I'm going to tribute it for Citadel and lose it for nothing anyway. Then I'm going to try and use the effect of Double Identical Knuckle, but that doesn't work because Underworld Goddess is still there. So I had not much I could have done with this card. I just wasted an urgent schedule for nothing. That was a misplay. Admittedly, I should have just set the urgent schedule. That's game, I guess. I'm going to be able to get back the Pegasus with the Bullet Train effect. But unfortunately, I am not wide open for an opponent to just punch me in the face repeatedly with. They're going to summon the Jaguar that they returned to their hand last turn, bring back the Foxy, bring back the Spinny by pitching a Fury of Fire, no less, which maybe they could have used to do something else. They're going to return the Sunlight Wolf to their deck in order to special the Jaguar. And now what I think happened, the play that my opponent made, I think, was due to the fact that they didn't have time to do anything else. Which sucks! The Duel Links timer is pee-pee poo-poo bad and does not allow you to play properly. I think it should be longer. I haven't had a single good argument as to why it shouldn't be longer or give you more time during your opponent's turn when you perform game actions. And everyone who says, oh, just learn your deck, just learn the combos and stuff, has never played a combo deck in their life, right? Because when you're playing a combo deck, you not only have to do your combo, which might not be linear, like if you're playing something like Fluffles or even some Salamangreat variants or Predator Plants, right? It's not just you always do the same combo over and over again that you can just commit to memory. And even if you do, sometimes you get interrupted by a hand trap and you have to think about what you're doing next. Anyway, so not only there's that, but there's also, you have to interact with your opponent during their turn. Like, you have to play your cards, and playing your cards takes more time than it should. Because, like, for every interaction out there, like we've seen with my Anger Knuckle, I'm not just, like, I'm saving it for a special occasion, so I have to think, is it worth it to activate this card right now? Or do I hold it for later when it will bring more value, when it will give me more advantage? That's why the Duel Links timer is not good for current modern decks, most of which are going to be combo decks anyway. That they will be incredibly punitive, not only if you don't commit the combo to memory, which I guess now you have to because Duel Links players think this is how you should play Duel Links, but also because you just can't do regular follow-up plays because you don't have the time anymore. I think this is stupid, and I think this should get changed. Sorry for yapping about the timer. Anyway, what they're gonna do instead of doing literally anything else is they're gonna go to battle and they're gonna attack directly. Probably turning the timer off in order to not get assaulted by the Salamangreat Sanctuary effect of like, hey, you sure you don't want to pay 1,000 life points? You sure you don't want to pay 1,000 life points in order to gain 500? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Like, even if you turn the thing off, it just takes some precious time away. It's so annoying. Anyway, you're gonna go for what is almost lethal. I'm surviving with 5 decades. It's not 5 anything. No, it's not 5,000. It's 5 tens. 5 tens. 50. That's the word. 50 life points. 50 life points. A Pegasus and a Dream. I'm going to open Urgent Schedule because I'm just at base, but I'm not even gonna activate it. I'm going to bring back the Derek Crane, and then I'm gonna turn the Derek Crane into a Pegasus into a 10 rather, and then boom, we got the second Gustav maxed. So, a second Gustav has hit the duel field, and at this point my opponent is going to acknowledge that they literally can do anything to win this duel anymore, and that I've won, not because I played better than them. I think I made a couple of misplays here and there, especially regarding a turn schedule, but because they didn't have time to assemble lethal. That's how I won. So that's the deck. A deck that can win with its own merits, but more likely than not, it's just going to use the fact that it doesn't take nearly as much time as all the other top combo decks out there to pilot and win, because the timer is on your side, because you have less game actions to perform than your opponents, which is kind of... I have no way of knowing that, like what happened in that Salamangreat replay for sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. And it sucks, because that's not how I want you to enjoy Duel Links. Even disregarding the pee-pee-poo-poo format aside, it sucks that I can't... And I say I because I had this very issue like a couple of times, but I can't enjoy decks like Predator Plants or Salamangreat because I don't have time to think about how I want my combo to go and how I want to interact with my opponents. Which is why people like default to decks like Hero that aren't combo decks, just do their shit mechanically, click yellow button to get all the advantage they need anyway, and win games with like 2 minutes left on the clock, which is ridiculous. Anyway, as far as this deck is concerned, there's probably some more ways to optimize it. I have tried a McKenna version, playing Redeployment, Citadel, not Citadel, Citadel's already there, Fortress, the Flying Guy. I didn't find it too convincing. I have tried playing some Infinitract, but I didn't find them too convincing either. I think something that I could do, considering I only have 2 urgent schedules, is like play 2 more special schedules and then play a couple of like staple back row. Forbidden Droplet is probably necessary if I want to win against Lyrilisk. I can play some limited 3 staples. Maybe I should just be playing Treacherous Trapple, which will trigger the Citadel in my hand. And I think this deck looks a little bit better, but I'm not sure if I will be able to... the fact that I've added more cards and I'm now at 24, I'm not sure if this is going to go against the fact that I want to open a schedule card in order to go into my combo. Like if I try Sample Draw, for instance, this hand actually does something. This hand's actually pretty cool. We can Flying Pegasus into Derek Rain into nothing too interesting. This hand is bad actually. But we can go, look, we open special schedule, so we do get to play the game. Special schedule, we'll be able to revive the Mechanist Citadel that's hand for free. And then revive it, and then Derek Train, and then Bullet Train. That's a great hand. That's a decent hand, because we did open the Signal Red. That's a decent hand, because we did open Tech, and we can make a rank 10. Yeah, no, maybe it is the better version of the deck that I should be playing. Let me know what you think in the comments of this video, especially if you're a Train enjoyer, because I reckon that I still have much to learn about this deck. That'll be it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like the video and leave a comment regarding your impressions of this deck. If you want to support me further, you can check out my Ko-fi in the video description, where you can make a donation for as low as $2 or €2 or £2 or I don't know. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my Ko-fi donators in the form of Dingust, who actually got to COG playing a version of this deck, so congratulations Dingust. That's a late COG celebration because he did it last month, but still. Outage Boy Zero, Jimmy, Zinnia, Yannick, Seal or Soul the Boss. I'm not sure which name you want me to refer to you to, so let me know in the comments. Mark Lu, Fortunello 16, Orc Price Exorcist, and the Abyss Actor Guru. Thank you all for the support, I really appreciate it, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you all for taking the time to hear me yap about how this format is bad, and how the timer is bad, and what I have been passing for a trains related video when it wasn't really about trains this whole time. I tricked you everyone. Thank you for watching once again, take care everyone, and I will see you all next time.